Aloha mai kako. Welcome and good evening, everyone. My name is James Eustace, and I'm the president of the Waimea Community Association. Thank you for those joining us online tonight for our regular monthly Waimea Community Association town meeting, and a rather special one at that. So thank you for joining us. I encourage you to follow the Waimea Community Association on our social media platforms. You may also find relevant information and resources up on our website at waimeatown.org. We do strive to keep our accounts active and up to date. And at this point, I would like to recognize the Waimea Community Association board members, our Vice President, Michael Donnelly, our Treasurer, Jeremie Madrid, and our Secretary, Nancy Carr Smith, and our directors, Patty Cook, David Greenwell, Mary Beth Lachek, Lani Olsen-Chong, and Riley Smith. On behalf of the Waimea Community Association Board, we are grateful for the support shown by you, the community, to continue holding these meetings in a virtual setting. Thank you all for your interest in joining us for our past meetings and for viewing and even sharing these recordings. You are welcome to revisit and rewatch these videos up on our Facebook page here, or even up on our YouTube channel. The Waimea Community Association is a nonprofit organization that strives to promote open participation by all of the Waimea community, develop leadership, and support the smart growth of the region. If you'd like to support the work that we have done and help continue our effort in connecting with our community, you are more than welcome to donate and join as a member online on our website. If this is something that interests you and you would like to receive more information, you may also email us at waimeacommunityassociation@gmail.com, or even visit our website, waimeatown.org. And on our website, you can find an option to contribute and join digitally, or you can find a membership form and mail that to us if you would like. Your contributions and membership allow us to reach out to the community and connect to the larger Waimea area in this setting particularly, and support the work that the WCA has done for the past 60 years. Mahalo nui for your consideration and your support. This evening, we have a very special agenda. We'll begin with a few brief community updates, and especially some exciting news as we enter the holiday season. And as has been the tradition over the past years for WCA, our main focus for the month of November and for this evening will be to share the aloha and gratitude of the community for our first responders. We are honored to be joined by many of the lead officers that represent these organizations and groups this evening. It has been a very challenging year for our first responders. And to kick things off, we'll be hearing from some of our elected officials and leaders to share these messages of aloha with them. We will then hand things over to our WCA Secretary, Nancy Carr Smith, as we connect with our community first responders. Nancy will lead us through our recent outreach from the community to the community and to our first responders and their departments, highlighting the care and the support that you have all shown for our first responders. We are grateful to be joined by representatives and leaders from the Hawaii County Police Department, Hawaii County Fire Department, a number of stations, including our Waimea station, the Waikoloa station, and the South Kohala station, our U.S. Army Garrison at Pōhakuloa training area and the fire and rescue team there, our North Hawaii volunteer fire companies at Waikiki and Onekona, and representative from Queens North Hawaii Community Hospital, and of course, the Daniel Sayer Memorial Foundation. We're wonderful to have all these guests on here to join us this evening, and very grateful for their time and joining us. So first up, I would just like to share a quick video about a community event that was held during the month of October. At our last town meeting, our Waimea educator, Tammy Muranaka, joined us to encourage the community to pink it up. This quick video recaps that event and highlights the community that got involved, that stepped up and wants to do something positive. So I'll share this with you here now.
And finally tonight, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And that's why a Big Island town is trying to pink it up. Waimea Elementary School launched its annual effort to get people to wear pink and put up pink decorations to raise awareness. Educator Tammy Muranaka is a 3-time survivor of breast cancer and helped start the Pink It Up movement.
And we can celebrate the people who have fought breast cancer. She's amazing. She always is really positive and she tells good jokes.
It was so awesome to see them coming out of cars in pink and pink hair, pink socks, and seeing them in the cafeteria. It touched my heart so much because they're part of the process for me, for healing and for my continued treatment.
You know, it's not just the students and staff at the school, it's also dozens of businesses who are participating and showing their support for talent.
See you in the Aloha tonight. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for putting that together and for encouraging the community to pink it up. That was a wonderful event, and I'm sure everyone was glad to be a part of it and be included in that across the Waimea community here. And we look forward to all participating in it next year as well. So thank you for your continued fight and your effort against breast cancer. So thank you, Tammy, and for your leadership in the community. Mahalo nui. Now, as we kind of look ahead to our holiday season, I would like to welcome one of our WCA board members and the Waimea Christmas Parade co-chair, Lani Olsen-Chong, to update us about the exciting community event right around the corner as we get into the holiday spirit. Welcome, Lani.
Mahalo, James. Aloha, everyone. It's happening, the 60th Waimea Twilight Christmas Parade. And you know, as I just watched that clip that James played, Waimea made the news again, because if you saw the news 1 or 2 nights ago, there was an announcement that our Waimea Christmas reverse parade is happening. So usually what happens is spectators sacrifice their time to set up camp as they await the start of the parade. This year, however, it's reversed. Now the participants in the parade, the entries, will be sacrificing their time to set up camp as they wait for spectators to drive through and enjoy their different creations. They are committed to remain in their places for 3 hours and to bring some smiles to everyone that passes by. Please join us for the 60th Waimea Twilight Christmas Parade. Tell your family, tell your friends that Saturday, December 4th will be an exciting night in Waimea, because I hear that there's another event, drive-through event, that's going to happen at the same night, which I think is going to be just awesome for our little town. Our Grand Marshal this year is our beloved Auntie Eva Lindsay Kialamakia, 99 years old, who was our postmistress for more than 30 years. The route, don't forget, is on the Aloha Road, which if you come off of Mamaloho Highway by the racetrack, you're going to turn onto Aloha. What's going to be nice is that Parker Ranch is going to light that whole fence line with lights. They're going to have their trucks lighted and staged in that area, and even horses to welcome you at that start line as you get to the start line at the gate there. When you get to the gate, you'll be greeted by volunteers so that they can help Santa get a keiki head count from your car, so that at the end, there'll be a little bit goodie waiting for the keiki there. We can't do our annual bucket brigade this year, but you will still have an opportunity to make a donation to the Big Island Giving Tree as you start your drive-through. Check out the website, waimeatown.org, for more information and for a parade application if you'd like to participate. It's not too late, you still have time. Have fun, stay positive, test negative, and have a very happy Thanksgiving. Aloha.
Mahalo, Lani. We're all looking forward to it. It's going to be a big night in the town. So I appreciate your leadership and pulling it all together and put on this amazing event for our community. Mahalo nui. Next up, as part of this and connected to a lot of the events that are happening this holiday season and really supporting our communities particularly during the holiday season, the Big Island Giving Tree is working with many different community organizations to raise awareness and continue their efforts of feeding our kupuna, and especially those in need during this time of the year. And to share a little bit more about these activities, these events, and these opportunities to give, I'd like to welcome Nancy Carr-Smith to share with us a little bit more. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you, James. Yes, so here's an update on the Big Island Giving Tree. Starting with the Waimea Parade, as Lani said, we will be at the start to accept any entry fees and donations, which will be in lieu of that bucket brigade that you folks are used to seeing. The funds that we collect from the bucket brigade typically help fund the cost of the kupuna bags that we fill every year. So look for us at the parade start there, and don't forget that the parade is from 6 to 9, but you can come anytime. You don't have to come at 6 and wait. You can come at 8 or whatever. So we're hoping that people will be staggered so that it goes smoothly. In the days after the parade, we'll continue our tradition of filling those kupuna bags with basic necessities and food items and snacks, as well as blankets and warm socks for our upcountry kupuna. Last year, we filled around 500 of these bags. On Christmas morning, we'll continue our tradition. I think it's the 11th year with Sanse Waikoloa, and with the help this year of Jay Kanekoa from Waikoloa Marriott, he's going to emu the turkeys for us. And then those go to Sanse, and Sanse cooks the rest of the meal for us, mashed potatoes, local veggies, stuffing and gravy. And we plate about 500 to 600 meals, and volunteers take them out again to the kupuna and to homeless and houseless. So that's another thing that we're raising funds for. And last, drum roll, James. We have a very exciting announcement. You guys are the first to hear about it. We're bringing a live event to Waimea, and it's called Santa Live. And we just found out today that our venue is confirmed, and the venue is Keck Observatory parking lot. So this is going to be 4 nights, 5 shows per night. It's about 40 cars per show. Between December 9th and 12th, between 5 and 10 p.m. So you can go online to 808christmas.com and see what it's all about. And you can buy tickets there. So you must have tickets to get in the show. And when you're buying your tickets, you also get to provide a little message. And then what comes alive is this Santa from the North Pole on this 30-foot LED screen, and it's pretty awesome. So we're very excited about this. There's also sponsorship opportunities as well. So if you know of anyone, or if you would like to consider a sponsorship, there are 30-second commercials, if you will, or there's logo sponsors. There's a lot of different opportunities. So we're very excited about this. I think the community is going to love it. And look for more information about it and reach out if you want to know more specifically now. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Exciting events happening right around the corner.
Yeah.
Lot to enjoy as we get into the holiday spirit here. So thank you, Lani and Nancy, for sharing about these events and exciting happenings for our Waimea community here. Mahalo. We're kind of moving along here. So I'd like to just say, as we enter the holiday season, I would like to keep encouraging all of us to please continue to our part in preventing the spread of COVID-19. Remember to wear your masks, practice good physical distancing, avoid large gatherings when you have to. This really is our kuleana. And also please be considered vaccinated, and please continue to do your part for the health and safety of our community and our loved ones. Vaccination opportunities are beginning to open up for our keiki as well. So please have these important conversations with your primary care physicians if you have any questions or concerns. And please visit hawaiicovid19.com, which is the state COVID-19 portal, or the county portal at hawaiicounty.gov/coronavirus if you're looking for more information or resources. Mahalo. And as we move towards the main portion of tonight's meeting, I would like to give a few minutes to our community's elected leaders as they share with us and express on behalf of the community the true test of leadership and of community we have all seen during this year, especially in regards to the courage and resilience we have seen from our first responders. I would first like to welcome Representative David Tarnas to share a few words with us, a few words of aloha and gratitude. Welcome, Representative.
Thank you very much, James, and thanks to the Waimea Community Association for hosting this event to honor those in our community that help us every day. We live in a very special place. We help each other out, neighbors help each other out, but we really rely on our first responders, our hospital, to respond to regular maintenance care and also life-saving services. I know numerous of my friends' lives have been saved by the North Hawaiʻi Community Hospital, Queens North Hawaiʻi Community Hospital, and we're so grateful. The police department, every day, 24/7, always there, helping us out, and with a great attitude. We're blessed to have such a strong and helpful police department. Our fire department, it's just amazing. Our county fire department, our volunteer firefighters working together really protect our community. And PTA comes in when needed. It was only a short 3 months ago that we faced our biggest fire, certainly in my knowledge of our history. Over 42,000 acres, I think, I last count, it may even be more, we lost to the fire as it burned across our district. I want to say thanks to Governor Ige for declaring a state of emergency so we could actually release funds to cover firefighting expenses, as well as the fire's aftermath and supporting some efficient relief efforts. On behalf of the community, I extend a real heartfelt mahalo nui loa to everyone who helped fight that huge fire. I'm especially grateful for the cooperative interagency firefighting agreement that we've got between the state DLNR, the Hawaii County Fire Department, and U.S. Army PTA, the Pōhakuloa training area. The firefighting effort was led and coordinated by the Hawaii County Fire Department, and I'm very grateful to the leadership in the fire department. To the volunteer firefighters, you get out there and leave your homes and your loved ones to do what's needed, and I can't say enough how grateful we are to you. DLNR, Division of Forestry and Wildlife, they contributed bulldozers and helicopters and dozens of personnel to fighting and containing the fire. And PTA and the U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii. The leadership there came through when we needed you. They allocated significant resources, dozens of trained personnel, helicopters, bulldozers, and much more as we fought this major fire. It took days and weeks to really clear it all up. And it was due to everybody's help. And I want to say on behalf of the state, as a state representative from this district, mahalo nui loa, from our ohana to all of you, thank you so much. We are blessed that we are all part of the same community. Mahalo nui loa.
Mahalo, Representative Tarnas. Thank you for joining us this evening and appreciate your words of gratitude from the community. Aloha to you. Next up, I would like to welcome Councilor Tim Richards to join us here and express some words of gratitude as well. Welcome, Councilor.
Thank you, James. And again, I'll echo some of the statements that represent. Thank you, mahalo. That does the fire. That of realistically all of our first responders. We had, of course, our fire department took lead on that. Outstanding. We had the Pōhakuloa, and I definitely consider them part of our first responders because they were right there to help us out. The coordination to the state and then our police also. We did our first evacuation of Waikoloa village, and without the police coordination, without the fire coordination, without the entire group coming together, being able to make that happen, it wouldn't have worked. One of the best parts about all of that, and again, thank you to the first responders, is the after action, the conversations after. How do we do it better? We had, I think one time I counted 27 bulldozers. We had 9 helicopters. We had 150 plus firefighters, and that includes our volunteer. Without our volunteer fire department, they back up our regular fire department because we are such a big county and we have vast tracts of land. So again, big shout out to all of the first responders, the medical side, of course. And I want to also say a big shout out to our volunteers that help feed our first responders fighting that big fire. Without them, we can't. All of you, it's that time of year when we want to say thank you, but just saying thank you doesn't seem enough since so much was given. From the County of Hawaii, thank you so much for all you do. Aloha.
Mahalo, Councilor. Appreciate you there. We were losing you a little bit, but we got a lot of your message. So thank you so much for jumping in here. We know both you and Councilor Kimball have had a long day, so we appreciate your time on here. Mahalo to you. So next up, I would like to welcome Councilor Heather Kimball to share a few words as well. Welcome, Councilor.
Thank you, James. And thank you, as always, to the Waimea Community Association for the invitation, especially on this night, which is such a special night. I mean, we all feel the gratitude for our first responders every day of the year, but I love that the Waimea Community Association really makes a special point of highlighting the contribution. And in a typical year, the contribution that the firefighters and our first responders and our police officers and our healthcare workers make is so meaningful and important. But the last 2 years have been so unusually difficult with the impacts of COVID and not just dealing with the vaccination clinics and testing clinics and all of those things, but also the economic impacts and how that's impacted our community and made your jobs even tougher. James mentioned resilience. I sometimes I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, there's been so much pressure the last couple of years, and so I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, from my family, and from the community in District 1, we thank you so much for everything that you've done for us these last couple of years. And I want to just say to everybody out there, have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving and holidays. I guess this is the last time we'll see each other before the new year. So have a happy new year, everyone. And I have great expectations for 2022 and look forward to coming back and seeing all of you in a bright new year. So again, mahalo to all of our first responders, and everybody have a happy and safe holiday. Aloha.
Hello, Councilor. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being on the call with us this evening, and appreciate all the words from our elected leaders. This is just a small show of gratitude from our community leaders to our first responders, and wanted to have our elected officials on here to really express that on behalf of all of you in the community. So thank you for jumping on here. And now, as we move to our main portion of tonight's meeting, I would like to welcome back on our Waimea Community Association Secretary, Nancy Carr Smith, as we connect and hear from the different community first responders that provide us a safe and stable place that we call home. Nancy will delve into this further, but the Waimea Community Association is grateful for all of the contributions and willingness to participate in this outreach for the sole purpose of sharing the community's aloha with our community first responders. We were able to connect with and visit numerous operations around the district and share the gratitude from the community over the past few weeks here. So thank you, Nancy, for taking on this charge. Please take it away.
Thank you. All right, give me a second here so I can figure this out. I thought I was starting to share my screen. Do you see it or no?
Yep, they're all
You
sharing,
do?
ready to go. So you can click.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
You can,
okay.
You can click it to from the beginning if you want to, up on that left-hand side there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good. Awesome. Thank you.
There we go. Wonderful,
All
Nancy.
right.
Thank you.
So yes, this is our second virtual mahalo to first responders. As a lot of you know, we generally have a big potluck at the Waimea School, and everybody comes and we get to honor all of you guys in person. But Due to COVID, this is the second year that we've done a hybrid Mahalo. So I've actually really enjoyed the way we do this. Just because we've been able to come face to face with you guys and spend some time talking story and kind of learning a little bit more about what you guys do and what it's like for you. I've learned a lot, and it's been really nice to get to know you guys. So these are the folks that we have with us tonight, the first responders and speakers as well. From the Hawaii Police Department Waimea Station, we have Captain Jeremie Evangelista and Community Policing Officer Justin Cabanting and Community Policing Officer Chandler Nacino. From Queens North Hawaii Hospital, we have Dr. Crystal Hammer joining us tonight. Wave, Crystal. Thank you. From the PTA Fire Department, we have Acting Chief Greg Simon and Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Cronin is with us as well tonight. From the South Kohala Fire Station, who do we have? We have AJ and I don't see Sean. That's not Sean, but
Firefighter Olsen-Kuroda.
Very good, thank you. And from Waikoloa Fire Station, we have Battalion Chief Bill Bergin. From Waimea, we have Captain Ipo Thompson and friends. We also have Hawaii County Deputy Fire Chief Mueller here to provide a tribute to Keoki Lindsay. And we have Anekona Fire Department or Volunteer Fire Department, Captain Mike Shattuck here. And Waikiki Volunteer Fire Department, Captain Steve Grasso. And last but certainly not least, we have Frank and Laura Sayer here with us from the Sayer Foundation. They're such a big part of this conversation, and they are our featured nonprofit tonight. We hope to have some time to talk with them near the end. So moving along, this has really been a community event. Waimea Community Association was the facilitator and collected donations from the community, and everybody was really enthusiastic about it because of what you guys do. So here's an idea of who the donations came from. And special thanks to some other folks that helped us and provided videos for this evening. And a special shout out to the Keiki who took the opportunity to provide mahalo to you folks. So that was Waimea Middle School, Waimea Elementary, Parker School Elementary, and Hawaii Preparatory Academy High School. So I think that you folks probably found their notes and cards touching. I know I did. It was pretty awesome. So I'd like to start with a little video here that was made by board member Jeremie Madrid. Cool. So Jeremie Madrid, who made this video, he is also the one that did those cool, they almost look like paintings with last year's photos. So those that you saw that were done that way were from last year's event, and he'll probably do the same thing with the photos from this year, but I thank him so much for doing that. So I told you about some of the stuff that the kids did, and for those people that are just viewing online, it was pretty special to see what these kids came up with. So I just wanted to just show you a little glimpse of what some of it looked like. It was really sweet. Dear first responder, thank you for putting other lives first rather than your own. You keep us safe and are risking your own life to do so. You work hard and long to help us. You're resilient, strong, brave, and awesome. Thank you for keeping us in good health and keeping us safe. That was one of my favorites. These are the bags that we provided with food items and gift cards from local businesses in our mahalos. And a card that a board member provided, which some friends wrote the messages and did that beautiful writing on them for us from the association and the community. So why was this such a big year? I don't know if you guys are saying that. Because of these fires that we had, right? So the Kamwala View Estates fire, I think it was in July. Maybe it was June, I'm not sure. July is what I think. From what I understand from talking to you guys, this fire really got your attention. It was so close to so many homes and was challenging to fight. But luckily you had those cool big dog fighters to go, yay, sayers, to go off-road and be able to battle this blaze. I know that it was said, and you'll hear more from the firefighters themselves, that this was a scary one for them. And they certainly didn't have any idea of what was to come after that, but so then we move into August and the big fire came. These are just some pictures that I took when I was hanging out in the gym for a few days of the different people that were a part of the August firefighting effort. Maui came, forestry, everybody was there. These are some photos that I took at the same time. On the left, I was up on Old Saddle Road one day trying to hunt down Mr. Bergin and saw some water drops there. The middle picture is from the district park, and then the one on the right is from Aloha. I know that it's been said that this, by many of you, that it was the hardest fire that you ever fought. Yeah. So luckily, Mayor Roth had approved the Waimea District Park as a certified kitchen facility for Big Island Giving Tree and others to function out of for that week. And we provided meals for, I think, 5 days. We were providing 3 meals a day plus snacks, since you guys come and go all the time. So these are just a couple of pictures of the mayor and Chief Todd, and Councilman Richards was in and out as well. It was also a place to facilitate the community bringing donations and bringing meals as well. So it was pretty awesome to witness that. And just a few pictures of what all that looked like. It was also a place for the firefighters to meet in the morning. And we got to feed them at that time as well. There's our motley crew in the middle there. So with that, we want to move into recognizing you folks individually and showing, I'll show the photos that we took when we came to visit you, and then give you folks some time to talk. We've got about 5 minutes per group. So we'll go ahead and show you our visit to the police station. There's me along with Mary Beth and James, providing our mahalo and makana to the captain there. And then Officer Chandler, Officer Justin, and Lieutenant Brian were all there with the captain that day. So with that, go ahead, Captain or CPOs, whoever wants to speak and share your thoughts.
Thanks, Nancy. Thank you,
Oh, you're
Waimea
welcome.
Community Association. Mahalo to everybody who's attending. Thank you for our government leaders and our partner public safety agencies for all that you folks do for your community as well. During this past year, our department has had to adapt and continues to adjust to rapidly evolving changes in our community's perceptions and their expectations of its police force. We saw stay at home, safer at home, safe travels, social gathering limits, and other emergency proclamation rules become new duties for the police to enforce on top of everything else that we currently, on top of the other laws that we currently uphold. So these new duties were just as new to us as they were to the public that was expected to abide by them. I think the fact that we were able to get through that process with relatively few complaints speaks a lot to the empathy that our police team shows when contacting our community members. Meanwhile, during the year, your patrol officers here in Waimea were able to clear 56% of the burglaries that occurred during the fiscal year and solved 32% of the theft cases, which are really great numbers compared to other police departments. We also conducted 188 drug investigations, and a lot of those stemmed from traffic stops where officers were being proactive and actually looking for contraband when also enforcing traffic violations. Our traffic enforcement resulted in arresting 114 impaired drivers. Each of those arrests potentially saved one or more lives. You know, we're grateful for the community's continued confidence and support, because it's only with that help that we can be successful in keeping Waimea a safe place to live, visit, and conduct business. I speak for the Waimea police team here, which Officer Nacino and Officer Cabanting are a huge part of. When I express that gratitude and thanks to the community and the rest of our public safety partners and our government leaders. So while you say mahalo to us, we return that and say mahalo to you folks as well. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Anybody else want to say anything?
I want to just say thank you again. Like the captain said, we appreciate all your support and the visit at the station. I just want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Please be safe. Drive safely. See a friend or a family member, you know, drive them home or call a ride for them. But yeah, happy holidays to everybody, and thank you for all your support.
Just to echo the sentiment of the other two, thank you very much for all the support over the year and years. We really do appreciate it. It makes our job a lot easier when we have the support of the community.
Well, thank you. We appreciate knowing you guys are out there. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a great holiday as well. Thank you. All
Take care.
right. We'll move on to Queens North Hawaii Community Hospital and Dr. Crystal Hammer. I will show you a couple photos here. So, can you still see that or no?
If you just want to reshare your screen there, I just stopped it so that we could see face to face there.
Oh. You did that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't do that. Wait, okay, now it's in the wrong place. Okay. Hold on, give me a minute.
Just go back a little bit with a left mouse key, left key in your, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I'm officially kind of messed up now, but that's okay. So what we decided to do for the hospital in terms of mahaloing them is to buy local orchids so that the orchids could be distributed throughout the hospital and more people could enjoy them. So that's what we did. And I think they really appreciated that. With that, I will go ahead and let you take it away, Crystal, while I try to get this right.
So thank you for having me on here today to represent the hospital. It's a team effort, and I know everyone here appreciates your support. I wanted to thank the Waimea Community Association for involving us in some of these updates for the community and for your continued support. I also wanted to thank the community for all the ways that you've supported us during this year with the pandemic, the times that you've masked when you didn't want to, the times that you've stayed home when you didn't want to, for isolating it when appropriate and vaccinating, that you're with us in that same effort, and we appreciate your support and solidarity. It's a privilege for us to be able to care for the community and an honor to do so. And it's humbling to see this display of support and appreciation from you guys and from the community. The orchids were beautiful, and they went to a variety of different departments in cardiology and the emergency department, for the surgical services, for nursing, involving secretaries and different levels of staff. So thank you. And the cards from the children were beautiful and very touching. So
good. I'm glad you liked them. One of our board members was wondering if you happen to know what the vaccination rate is in our town, in South Kohala.
I don't off the top of my head for currently today. I know that the Big Island itself is, and state of Hawaii is, we're above 70%, but I don't know for Waimea community. It's higher than the rest of the county, our particular area is, but I don't know the exact percentage.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for being there for our community. We appreciate it. All righty. Okay. Are you seeing that? You are, okay. Okay. Screens on top of screens. All right. Now we'll move Malka on up to PTA and hear from Acting Fire Chief Greg Simon and Lieutenant Colonel Cronin. Lani was able to go up and visit with these folks and provide the mahalos there. Thank you so much for welcoming her. And go ahead, Greg, if you'd like to. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I've got these screens on top of each other and it's. a challenge. I wanted to show this video before you guys go ahead and speak. So let's take a look at this. That's pretty cool, pretty impressive seeing that up close. All right, Chief Simon, you want to go ahead and share with us about what's going
Aloha,
on?
and thank you, Nancy and Lani, for your visit. That was great and unexpected, and we appreciate it. Also wanted to thank the Waimea Community Association for the efforts they put in that, and the community, the children that put together the wonderful cards that are now adorning our fridge and making the station look much homelier. On behalf of the fire department, Pōhakuloa Fire Department, I just want to express that it was our pleasure to be able to serve our community partners during your time of need. We look forward to continuing the great partnership, and we wanted to thank everyone for their immense support. We couldn't do what we do without, your community support, and you guys really show it, as well as the support of the Hawaii County Fire Department, the various volunteer fire brigades, DOFA, DLNR, and National Park Service as well. Again, thank you. Mahalo nui.
Thank you very much. We understand that you folks cover Danoke-Noi Highway. What are the boundaries that you work in, and what circumstances do you go out of those boundaries? Just wanted to understand that.
We operate 25 road miles from the gate in either direction, and we'll support anything from fires, traffic accidents, medical emergencies, rescues on the Maunas for lost hikers or injured hikers. So pretty much we go all the way down to the Hilo side, down to mile marker 13 or so, and then down to Highway 190 going towards Kona.
Mm-hmm. And what was the August fire like for you guys?
Well, it was a long, tiring month, that's for sure. We have a very small staff, so a lot of familiar faces every day. Really putting it out there, and I want to thank my guys for the excellent work they did, as well as everybody else who participated in that and helped us get it done with.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with us. Lieutenant Colonel Cronin, are you there? Cronin, I'm sorry.
Aloha, Nancy. Yes, I'm here.
Hi. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about the August fire and what the circumstances were when you requested the helicopters from Oahu, and what was all that like?
Sure. Yeah. So I think Chief Simon said it really, really well. It was an incredible fire, and incredible to be part of the overall community effort to battle the fire. And I was inspired by the team here up at Pōhakuloa, and definitely inspired by the overall team and community effort of a team of first responders and everything they did. Seeing some of those pictures you highlighted, just that was an incredible fire, and there was firefighters and first responders and police officers right there on the lines protecting our community. And it was an incredible effort. So on Friday afternoon, when we got word that the fire was started, the team at Pōhakuloa plugged into the overall command, incident command, went to their sector on Old Saddle Road, and then we put 2 helicopters on standby from Oahu. We didn't have any helicopters on the island at that time, unfortunately. And then we got our 4 bulldozers ready, and we got our low boys and water tankers ready to fill up the dip tanks that you see in that picture, and be prepared to support the effort. And then on Saturday morning, about 9 a.m., when we saw the fire was growing and spreading kind of out of control, Major General Ryan, my commander on Oahu, sent over 2 helicopters to support with bucket drops, and our dozers were working throughout. And then Saturday early evening, requested 3 more helicopters. And since it was the evening, those helicopters, they can't conduct bucket drops at night. So those 3 additional helicopters came on Sunday morning. Then also on Sunday requested 7 additional wildland firefighters from Oahu, and they came later that day. So all told, just got as many resources as we could, a lot from Oahu, great support from the chain of command to help fight this fire. And it was pretty devastating, obviously, but I think it could have been a lot worse. And if not for the great work of the overall team, I think it would have been.
Well, thank you for your contributions. I know it made a big difference all the way around with those helicopters, especially, and the fire breaks and everything. So thank you so much.
Thanks to the Waimea Community Association and the overall community for this event and for your continued support day in and day out. It means a lot. As we come up on Thanksgiving and the holiday season, I'm certainly thankful to be able to live and serve in such a fantastic community. So I give thanks for that. So thank you so much.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We will move along. Oops, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to move down the coast to the South Kohala station. I know that perhaps there are some other guys other than Sean on the call, but we had a nice visit down with this crew that was on duty that day, including AJ, who I do believe is on, and Sean, the captain, is the third over from the left, on the left photo. Great group of guys. They have a whole different kind of kuleana down there for the resort areas. And we learned about their helicopter, which is only the one of 2 on the island, which was kind of amazing to find out. I had no idea there were only 2 helicopters. And this one's almost 30 years old. So it's my understanding that they might be getting a new one, and I hope they do. But they make the most of it and do some great work down there. So AJ or whoever is on there, would you folks like to say a few words?
Hi, everyone. This is Firefighter Olsen-Kuroda. I'm Firefighter Taylor, and we're just representing South Kohala during this meeting. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming down and introducing you guys yourself. I think this association is doing great things, obviously, from the things you guys have been sharing and your guys' track history throughout the years. But it was good to put the name to the face, and thank you for the gifts that you guys dropped off as well.
No, this is actually my first time sitting in on one of these meetings, and it's awesome to see how everyone comes together and kind of links up. And we do appreciate the Waimea Association and everything you guys do for us. And I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. And thank you guys for having us and all of the support.
And yeah, everyone stay safe.
Thanks, you guys.
You're
What
welcome.
does it mean to you to have all this community support? I mean, you guys are sort of down there working the coastline, and not sure how many people stop in and visit you, or
Yeah,
but,
we get quite a bit of, as you guys know, we're in the tourist side of it, so we get tons of tourists that come in, and
yeah,
tons of support from the hotels and the surrounding communities around here as well. I mean, we love it. As you know, we love all the support, and it kind of drives us. We're very thankful to have it.
And you guys have police stationed at your location as well, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You have police stationed,
Yeah, we have the substation, yeah.
a substation.
But just like Officer Chandler shared earlier, you know, just having the community support just makes our job a lot easier, yeah. And for you guys to go out there and do outreach, you know, it kind of brings that connection together. So.
Awesome.
Well,
Well, we're honored to do so.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Moving right along. Uh-oh, wrong way. All right, moving up to the village where Battalion Chief Bill Bergin hangs his hat. Bill, are you with us? I'm sorry, I'm not seeing everybody at this moment because I'm focusing on this one screen, but I'll show a couple of photos from when we visited the Waikoloa station, Riley and I. It was fun to go meet these guys and spend some time with them. I got a picture of them in their casual lunchroom or whatever they call it, and they've got this awesome collection of badges, I think they're called, the Clothkind firefighting badges and other related fields, but it was really fun to meet you guys. And I know Bill does work out of that station. He kind of works everywhere, but Bill, like to take some extra time with you since you've been around our community so long. You're kind of our guy, and yeah, we just want to hear from you what the fires this year were like for you and for your guys, and maybe tell everyone a little bit more about some of the people that helped make it possible, like the dozer guys, helicopter guys, whoever else chimed in that maybe we don't know about.
Right on. Well, thank you. And first off, I want to say, big mahalo to Jeremie, Evangelista. He's been around a long time. I'm looking at him tonight and he's wearing glasses and he has gray hair just like me. But I appreciate everything that HPD does, because both of our emergency response agencies, we usually come in contact with people on their worst possible day of their life. Usually when we show up, people are happy to see us. Sometimes when police show up, they're not too happy to see the police show up, but I think their job is a little harder than ours. But I appreciate everything they do. So, like I shared with you the other day, Nancy, at that Kimball View Estates fire, but that fire started at 8:30 at night, and thanks to all the off-road equipment we have, through the SARES and our dentist donors and stuff, that made a huge difference. That was the closest in my career I've ever coming to losing homes. And I told my crews that I hope this never happens to me in the rest of my career, which I'm hoping to retire in a year or two. And then a few weeks later, this big fire happened. So anyway, as this big fire progressed, it started to remind me of what I'd read about in the late 1800s. There's a big fire that started from a lightning strike in the area of Pu'ukihi on Mauna Kea, which is a few miles east of where our recent fire started from. And that fire burned for 3 years, and they didn't have the technology that we had, that we have today. But it burned from there all the way down to Kauai and skirted along Waimea, and that whole area, Holo area, which is just outside of the airport to West Hawaii Concrete. That area used to be Ohia, Koa Forest, Sandalwood, all that area burned, and now it's just desolate. And after that fire, it went into like Dust Bowl conditions, like what happened on the mainland. So if people look around the island, this area of the island, like Hamakua area, you see all these tree lines, coming towards Waimea area. all those tree lines and tree plots were planted by what I was told, the Youth Conservation Corps, to make fire breaks to prevent the soil erosion, which we're seeing that right now. Everybody can see the dust bowl conditions we have after this fire. Anyway, as this fire started, I was off duty, but I don't know how I knew about it. I was at home. Somebody called me and I turned on my radio, and then I eventually, I called Chief Chad Toimura was on duty that day. So I called him and asked him if he wanted me to coordinate bulldozers for him. And he's like, yeah, I'll take whatever help I can get. So I started doing that. The first dozer on scene came from Goodfellow. So I directed them to Pu'ukapu because I wanted to get a dozer in front of the fire, knowing that the fire would be heading in that direction and there's people's homes there. So sent the first dozer there. Next dozer to come in, Kamala Bertelman brought in a couple of dozers, I think one of his own, and then he grabbed a dozer from Westway Concrete that wasn't being used, and he put one of his operators on it. So I started them from Westway Concrete going towards around Mauna Kea to catch that Malka flank towards Makahalao, try and cut off that fire from getting too far up slope. And very few people that grow up in Waimea that actually know how rugged that terrain is out there. It looks, just like the slope of a mountain, but there are huge gulches out there that can, fit our entire fire station inside. It's like, you can a dozer falls into that in the middle of the night, and it's like, it can be like 70-foot drops and 120-foot wide gulches and stuff. It's very dangerous. And thankfully, thanks to our Park Ranch Cowboys, like Gordon Kalani Opio, they have the tribal knowledge and know the best routes. So they're the ones guiding the dozers in the dark to get to, create the fastest fire break they could safely, but also aim towards these gulch crossings so they can keep ahead of the fire. And then, so that afternoon, there's also some dozers that arrived on scene from Ishimoto. So I had them come to Westway Concrete, and from there I had them go back towards Pu'ukapu so we could kind of start surrounding this fire. And by about 1 or 2 in the morning, we had this fire about 50% contained and everything was looking good. So the next morning is when our shift came on duty, and so we relieved the guys that had been up all night and took over. A lot of the guys stayed on just to help, with the transition, and we needed all the help we could get. Everything was looking good in the morning, but we knew that at around noon, the weather was we're gonna end up with some extreme wind conditions. And sure enough, right, just like clockwork, the winds came up, and going from 50% contained, our fires jumped the break in all directions, and we're back to 0% contained. And as this fire started to progress, I started thinking to myself that history is about to repeat ourselves, and we're going to have a fire just like the one they had in the late 1800s. Earlier that morning, I started making calls to get DOFA to come and help us out, and getting them here to help us is kind of like an act of Congress, because I like to ask early, because they our civil defense, Hawaii County Civil Defense has to ask state civil defense, and that takes time. And then, if I remember correctly, I think the state attorney general has to sign off on it. So sometimes I have to lie a little bit to get them to come. So Steve Bergfold called me. Hang on. Oh crap. Okay. So Steve Bergfold called me and asked me if this fire can threaten their forestry lands. My philosophy is, Hawaiian Homes, Pu'ukapu area is state land, so we should have them come anyway. Unfortunately, the memorandum of agreement isn't written that way, but I lied a little bit and I said, yeah, it has the potential to reach forestry lands. And I never had any idea that it actually would, but a few days later it did encroach on their land. So at least it justified them being there. Let's see. So we got DOFA there. Every time I have a brush fire, I ask for every volunteer company in my area. I'd rather get them rolling, and I'll ask for PTA, DOFA, wherever I need. I ask for everybody, and because I can always cancel them if I don't need them. But if you wait too long, the fire gets too big, and then you're kind of behind the 8 ball. So I asked for just about every volunteer company in our area, and then by that evening of the second day, which was Saturday, I started getting. I got a phone call, and dispatchers telling me that the Ocean View volunteers are willing to come out and help us out if we need help. And I said, if they want to come, I'll take any help I can get. And it's a little touching because, I mean, you look at it after the fact, that Elizabeth Stabo, who's a volunteer there, she came and helped fight our fire. And then weeks later, she's the one that got burned in a fire back in her district and ended up in the hospital. Kyoki Lindsay was at this fire. 2 weeks later, he ended up with COVID, and we lost him. I'm not sure if I've ever met Lizzie, but in talking to Mike Shattuck from 9 Bravo, he told me that they're trying to get her daughter over here from Minnesota to help take care of her. And they had like a GoFundMe thing for her medical expenses. And so I tried using my Hawaiian Air miles to get her over here, and that was it's too complicated. So my second plan was like, I'm going to call a few of my friends and 2 phone calls. The first phone call, Bob Akery, a friend of mine from Kohala Ranch, said, I will pay for her ticket, got her over here. And then I called another friend of mine from Honolulu, a friend of mine, John Hunt, and he put her up at her, at his guest accommodations in New Valley. And it's very touching that all these people are willing to help, all of us out when we, all we have to do is ask. I love it. So, I appreciate all of our volunteers. We're the only county in the state that actually has volunteer firemen. We're a big county with a small population base, tax base. So we have to stretch every dollar. And, we wouldn't be able to fight these fires without our volunteers and help from DOFA and Pōhakuloa training area. So I can't thank them enough. So the other thing too, a fire this big, our dozer operators were the true heroes because there's no way we could stop this fire without them. So I kind of talked about the first dozers that were there on scene, during the first 24 hours of this fire. And I started getting phone calls from just about every contractor on the island offering to come and help us with their dozers or water truck and stuff. But the fire got big, and I think it was maybe the second or third day, Chief Moeller called me up and he's like, you need help? Do you want our incident management team to help coordinate this? I'm like, yeah, I'm maxed out. I need someone to help me coordinate this, which was great. We ended up having our numbers were hard to keep track of because sometimes we were double counting some dozers, and like some contractors are providing 5 dozers. But some of the companies that came to our aid was Messler Construction, Melvin Miranda, Brown Construction, Deleuze Trucking, and Deleuze Trucking, and Ludwig was another one. Robert Sanborn, Creighton Sanchez, Double D, and EM Rivera. That's how many people came. Is really touching to see. People were, they knew we had our hands full, and people stepped up to the plate and came and helped us. And without them, I think fire would have reached the ocean like the historic fire of the late 1800s. What's frustrating too, though, is that we're the fire, by the second, third day, I think it's the third day, the fire had jumped Old Saddle Road and then jumped 190 and was, and so it's burning above 190 and then below 190 towards Waikoloa Junction. So I had dozers coming from the Kona direction, coming up Waikoloa Road, and I needed them on Saddle Road or, at Pōhakuloa, and they kept getting redirected to stop the head of the fire on the Kona end. And that wasn't my concern because there's no homes over there. But eventually, other dozers would come in and, we'd get the dozers where I really needed them. But, the number of firefighters we had come, we even had some firefighters that came from Maui to help us out. Was absolutely touching. Was the community, how they stepped up to the plate and came in, did everything they could, provided drinks, donations, meals. I didn't have to worry about any meals once, thanks to Waimea Community Association and the Giving Tree. We ate well, and it's so nice to not have to worry about that part of the fire. At one point, in addition to the Pōhakuloa, we had our 2 helicopters plus PTA's helicopters. And at one point, I wanted Cal Dorn to bring his helicopter because the turnaround time on the Mauna Kea slope was so long. Those helicopters had bigger buckets and more powerful aircraft. So it's using them to do the long turnaround times up on Mauna Kea. So that was great that, those helicopters were available to us and they're willing to come and help us out. Hang on one sec.
We're gonna need extrication tools to get the driver of this car out. How's the lighting over there? Do you need lighting?
Hold on one sec.
You need to go, Bill? We can move
No.
on to Waimea.
Yeah, I'm in Waimea right now, so I think
Yeah.
Engine 16 Battalion 2. Let me know if you need any other resources. I'm in Waimea right now. I can head down that way if you guys need help. But
Witnessing real life here.
but anyway, it's like there's so many people that make our jobs better, make it safer. The SARE Foundation, what really made the difference, the Kamala View Estates fire, this fire, we've got some really good equipment that has been provided, through the SARES by some very generous donors. And when I first started working 27 years and some change ago for this department, we had very little wildland equipment. And on this side of the island, we're mostly a wildland. We do more wildland firefighting than we do structure firefighting. East side is kind of the opposite. But we had very little wildland firefighting equipment back then. And now, we used to envy like the other agencies like Pōhakuloa and the state forestry guys. And now they envy us. We got this awesome equipment and they're asking, and even Maui Fire Department is contacting me, asking me for, where I got these trucks from and, asking me for the specs because they all want to get them. So that's pretty, I think I'll lead this department better than I found it. And that makes me pretty proud. This equipment keeps my firefighters safe and makes, keeps the, community safe and, protects their property and stuff. And, one thing I got to give a little plug here for Firewise. And if people aren't aware of, people should know what Firewise is, but it takes a big fire like this to get everybody's attention and remind them that we need them to help us help them, so if they can give defensible space around their homes and good access and the good access and posted addresses, it even helps for medical emergencies. At least we can find their driveway and get our ambulance up and down their driveway and turn it around without banging into trees and knocking off lights off our ambulance and stuff. But having defensible space around their homes, we have a brush fire. These types of fires are called wildland urban interface fires. We have a brush fire that encroaches into in a subdivision, rural subdivision. So when that happens, if everybody in that neighborhood has defensible space around their house, which means like short grass, green irrigated lawns, 25 feet all the way around, no trees touching their house, no gutters full of leaves and stuff like that. When the brush fire runs through their neighborhood, we don't have to switch gears from going from brush firefighting to structure firefighting. So I just, I always try and remind people to try and help us help them, give us that space. So I think that's all. I just want to say thanks.
Thank you so much.
You folks, including, for bringing up, supporting us. We couldn't be where we are right now without everyone's, the community and, everyone else's support. So thanks.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky to live in such a awesome community.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
Right on. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Let's move to Waimea. And Captain Ipo Thompson is with us, I think. I'm not seeing his picture right now, but we had a great visit with you guys as well. We always enjoy coming to see you. You've got the big dog there from the Sayer Foundation. And
that's our go-to vehicle right there.
Is it?
Oh, it's a game changer.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ipo.
Thanks so much, Nancy, and the Waimea Community Association for putting on this event. Most first responders, we didn't look for this kind of recognition. It's something that we enjoy doing, but when it's done, we really appreciate all the thanks and all the overwhelming support that we've been getting from our community. Just tagging on what Chief Bergin said, this past fire was probably one of the most taxing of my career. I'm sure a lot of guys would agree that it really tapped our resources. It really required us to dig deep and really do our best with what we have, really. We live in a day and age where we got to do more with less, and that's just normal. But we got some very resilient firefighters that really came. They really showed their worth on that day. Nothing but just, I feel so proud to work with this kind of guys. No complaints whatsoever. We can never have enough resources, especially in a large scale event like this. But we did the best with what we had. And over time, we had our mutual aid and other agencies that came to help us. Was just huge. But really the community, I think everyone touched on this. The community really came to our aid. We couldn't have done this at all if it wasn't our community. I'll jump on again what Bill said. I mean, the unsung heroes really were the dozers, the cowboys, the locals that live back here in Pōhakuloa. Very, very challenging terrain, very rural setting. For people that aren't from Waimea, that were responding from outside districts. A lot of them, it was hard for them to really find their location with poor visibility, evacuation in progress. And it was just very, very challenging for all of us. But really with the resources and all the help that we've been getting through private donors, the Sayer Foundation, our council members and their support, we can continue to do good things for this community. I think we all agree that we work well together as a community. It's funny how even large scale events such as this, really that humanitarian effort that comes naturally. I mean, with people from all different walks of life, backgrounds, culture, people not from here, people, basically strangers, all of a sudden they're right there to come to your aid. I mean, we were getting old kupuna coming out we probably shouldn't have been walking to begin with, but they're out there trying to give us bottled water. Going to the Commonwealth of U.S. States, that community was amazing. They all took meal watches. Melissa and the gang over there, they all took shifts, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they went out of their way as a community to provide that. And we didn't expect that, but just those kind of outpouring of support really means a lot to all of us. So again, just thanks to everyone for all of this and your help. I got FEO, Jared Spencer, he was there on the first day. Everybody here at Waimea Station, we just can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you. Thank you, Ipo. Thanks, Jared, for being with us tonight too. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Stay with us. We might circle back. Let's see. We're going to move along here. Deputy Chief Moeller is with us tonight, and we've asked him to pay a tribute to Keoki.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for the time. Yeah, I'm on. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. This is extremely difficult for anybody to do. I wouldn't want to ask any of the firefighters that have worked with Keoki on a regular basis to have to talk about it, because it would be emotional. Not that it's not emotional for anybody that does this. Keoki is well loved through the fire department. I've been on the island here for 18 years, and I was working on a PTA, and I had several interactions over the years with Keoki, and you couldn't think of a better person. A lot of people may not know, before I got here, I worked in Italy, and I did 15 years in Italy before coming to Hawaii. And they have a saying in Italy. It's called della cuore. It's an honor that you pay tribute to a person that's of the heart. That's what della cuore means. It's a human that epitomizes love. And I couldn't think of a better phrase to talk about Keoki. Lane, which is his real first name, Keoki Lindsay, started in 2001 with the fire department in Hawaii. He's a prodigy, sort of like me. His father and his brother were firefighters before him, and he kind of followed in the footsteps. And from all the stories that I've kind of gone through in his life, I mirrored very similar to what he did. I followed the step on my dad on a truck company in New York with my brother, and moved up. There's something special about growing up in a fire service, having family members and having people that epitomize selfless service and giving back to the community. And I think you can't really find much of a better example of that within the Hawaii Fire Department than Keoki was. Very, very, very caring, very good natured, humorous, and at the same time, very local. There's a lot of stories that I'm sure if you ever speak to any of the firefighters, they could pass on about some of the humorous aspects of where he was. Unfortunately, in mid-August, he had fallen ill with COVID, and he was wound up in North Hawaii, where they gave the quality care that they do, and they did everything they could, and eventually had to send him to Oahu. And he fought and he struggled, but on the 25th of September, unfortunately, he returned home, and he's now in a much better place. I ask everyone to think of Keoki and how his selfless service and his good nature is a great example for anybody to live by. I also ask people to keep in mind his family. Kanoi Bertelman, who was his mate for many, many years, and his three sons, Paniao, Kinohi, and Kinami. I'm getting those names right. The emptiness that's left behind when we leave, somebody so special leaves us, is the hardest thing to get over. And we never truly get over it. We just learn to live with it. And we fill that hole with the good memories and the good things that come our way. So I ask everyone that's watching this to please keep them in mind. Reach out if you can and give them some love. And remember the love that Keoki brought to each and every one of us. His selfless service and dedication to the communities that he worked in, as well as the people that he touched, is endearing and will be sorely missed in the years to come. One other thing I just wanted to add, and this is in reference especially to the Mana Road fire. You're going to hear a lot of people talking about, the thanks going out and everything, and with all the accolades and the thanks for the fire department, the first responders. We have organizations like Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization, the dozers that were out there. We had helicopter pilots, civilian helicopter pilots, PTA, of course, and of course it's kind of maybe a myopic view because I was at PTA before. A lot of people don't realize they cover about 400 square miles on this island and respond every day. I think they had a Carr fire today on DKI. They're champs, but we had a lot of partners from Oahu come down, both with firefighters. We had the firefighters out of Maui. We even had the ambassador of Australia offer crews coming from overseas to help out with this fire. Mostly though, and I said this last year and I think the year before, so it may be kind of the broken record. It's the people of your community that are just so amazing. A lot of us get paid for this. A lot of us do this because we love it. We have our volunteers that are an integral part of our ability to provide fire protection on the island. But it's the community that comes out and truly supports us. The Waimea Community Association and the people of this island are second to none. And I've been many places in the world, and I gotta say, there's no place I'd rather be or live than on this island. And it's because of the people. It's the Aloha spirit, and it's the true caring and giving and open hearts that you see on a daily basis. So in summary, and to wrap it up, Keoki was exactly what this community is. It's the love and the aloha. And we would all do better just to keep that in mind as we go into the season of giving and this season of Christmas, and find some way each and every day to give the love back to the people that are around you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Deputy Chief Mueller. It was nice that you wanted to honor him and that you also were sensitive to his fellow firefighters. So thank you for that. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, guys, let's move along to the volunteer firefighters and Anikona, Captain Mike Shattuck. We went and visited them on one of their training days. Lots of smiling faces, amazing, these volunteers and how they are truly the unsung heroes here. They don't get paid for this. They leave their families unscheduled and go help the others out and maybe leave other jobs, whatever that looks like for them. But welcome, Mike. Please share with us your thoughts this evening.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. And I'd like to just shout out a big mahalo to you and all the WCA members, the community. I mean, I'm just echoing what everybody else before me just said. It was amazing, the support we've been getting this year. We had a few very large fires, and after every single one, they would come forward and help us out during that. It was pretty interesting to see. Being a volunteer company, we moved around a lot on that Mana Road fire, and I got to see the community come together in many different ways. I'm not going to mention all of that because Bill and Chief Mueller and Ipo, they all mentioned that, how the community came out to help. But it was pretty amazing. There's some very dangerous conditions out there, and they did not hesitate to help their neighbor, help us in any way that they could. I have to say it's probably one of the best aspects I saw on this fire, as tragic as it was the community coming together. Even afterwards, for weeks, people were still coming, bringing donations water, Gatorade, food to us. I have to say that the best part of being a part of HFD as a volunteer is the guys that we get to work with. They're amazing. I'm pretty proud of HFD and what they've accomplished on this fire. I saw firsthand all the hell that a lot of these guys went through. No complaints. And a lot of them, like some of my guys, their homes were being threatened, but they stayed on that fire line, did their job. They were torn between that and being on the fire, between going to their home and move out, evacuate. They stayed on their job. This is a very dedicated group of people, all facets of it, from PTA to DOFA to HFD, the police department. I'm sure I'm missing a few. DLNR. We've got a pretty special group of people that protect the homes here, and I'm proud to be part of that. My guys are too. And thank you again for all your support.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, I do have one more thing.
Sure.
Seeing as how Chief Bergin brought it up, Lizzie Stable, very good friend of mine. I just wanted to give you an update. She is now rehabbing at the Regency at Hawaiʻi here on the Big Island. She's still moving forward. Her burns were substantial, but she's in good spirits, and she really appreciates all the community members, fire department members, Chief Todd, Chief Mueller, Chief Bergin. The support that she's gotten is just overwhelming for her, and she wanted me to express that to all of you. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to be in touch with you about that. Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Moving Mauka to Waikiki and their volunteer group, Captain Steve Grasso. Steve, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
We just visited you today. This was just today. Looked like a beautiful day up in Waikiki.
Yeah, we had a nice day, just open for more rain.
Right.
It's still real dry up here. So, but thank you guys. You were so generous with the gift cards, and all the kids' cards were so nice. This last fire was kind of challenging for us with actually being evacuated as a community. I know Mike had just mentioned, but my guys didn't leave. They were there for days, and everybody's calling from home. And one of the people, I don't know if anybody thanked yet, were all the ranchers. We had guys coming up with trucks and trailers saying, throw your horses in, we're going. Where do you want them? And then people in Waimea, Hula were saying, bring them, drop them off in the arena, we'll take care. So that was part of the community that did step up that we saw specifically. I know I was talking to Bill at one point, and his wife was worried about horses, and he's like, I'm fighting a fire, I can't do it. But everybody showed up with trailers. But that evacuation order was a tough one. And I think that's one of the things we need to work on into the future if we're going to have these fires, how to handle evacuating. But I know the one thing I just told today, that PTA has stepped up and they're dedicated to maintaining the fire break around Waikiki into the future. So hopefully we'll be able to get trucks out on those fringes where we were just watching for this last fire. The positive for us as a community, we started a fundraiser with the Sayer Foundation to buy a new off-road tanker for Waikiki. And so far we're halfway there. So hopefully we'll have a couple more events in the next couple weeks, and maybe by the end of the year we can fund that new tanker. So
Awesome.
Thank you to everybody who helped.
Let us know about that so we can help get the word out for you.
All right, will do.
Yeah, that's what the Waimea Community Association does, is helps facilitate all of these kinds of things. So let us help you spread the word.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. And good luck with that effort, and thank you for being there. I'm glad that everybody in Waikiki is safe. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, moving along to Laura and Frank from the Sayer Foundation. Thank you so much for your patience tonight, and sure it was inspiring to you to listen to what everybody had to say. I'd like to take a moment and play your video and then let you kind of wrap up the evening.
No, there's no
Don't have audio.
no audio.
Not sure why I didn't turn it off. Hold on. My volume is up.
Is our volume on? Is our volume on? Is our volume on?
Is our what?
Volume on.
Yeah. So Nancy, if you want to try and share it with sound, if it doesn't, try one more time here, then we'll try a different way. So let's try it one different way if the sound doesn't pop up here.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to stop sharing for a second, and then we'll try and reshare it, and then make sure there's a, as before you click share, there's an option to make sure the sound's enabled.
Where's the option?
So when you click, when you choose share, and then you select the screen you're going to share, there's on that bar, there's a little bar that says with sound. There's a little checkbox. Do you see that option there?
I'm not sure why it's been different from the other ones, but okay.
There it is.
So just hit the little icon there on the bottom right of the screen that puts it into full to presenter mode.
It's in full from what I'm looking at. So I don't know what to tell you.
That's okay. There's a little button on the bottom of that window for the for PowerPoint. That looks like a pull down screen.
Yeah, like I said, it's showing full screen from what I'm looking at, so I don't have that ability. Hold on.
Have it there.
Hold on. Let me get the.
I'm still not the only one.
I don't know how to screen share.
Isn't it? Is it? Is this the one? Sorry, I really got messed up when my share got messed with. Yeah, that's so weird because every volume option I have is up.
Yeah, it's really on when you share the screen. There, when you click share, there's the option to choose a thing, and then when you choose that thing on that, before you select the item, there's a little box on that window
Yeah.
that pops.
It says share sound.
Okay, then it should work then.
Right, that's what I did before, but it.
Okay. and it may not have sound.
Large brush fire in Kamuela. Flames broke out last
Yeah, well, let's
night
watch
in
it
the
anyway. The
Uli
sound
Gulch
isn't
between
happening.
Kohala
Is that
Mountain Road
showing up
and
okay for you guys?
Kauai Road near the Kamuela View Estates and South Kohala.
It's important for this truck not only to be gifted, but to be blessed. And it's an incredible blessing of this amazing fire truck that we have been gifted.
Hawaiians always saw a life force, a spirit, a mana in everything in creation. Even a truck like this has a spirit of its own, and even it's called Lolo Ana I Kawa'a, giving a sense of intelligence, that it would think on its own, and that wherever that canoe goes, it will bring you back home safely. And so same with this truck, to give it that sense of life, that life force, that spirit, and that wherever this truck goes and goes out to help, that it will always come back home safely with his ohana.
I'm so sorry that the sound's not there, Laura. Apologize. Thank you. So I don't know why, because I had sound on the others, so I don't know why that happened.
It did have sound. We got sound.
Yeah, I know, and it had beautiful sound. So we'll make sure that we put that up on our website and on social media so that people can see it, if that's all right with you.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Thank you. So thank you for your patience tonight. What would you folks like to share with us at this point in the evening?
Well,
That's didn't if you realize it, but the sound actually came through when you finally played it the last time, so we got to hear the whole thing. So it worked out absolutely
What's that?
fine.
we got the sound.
Yeah.
Oh, you could hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't. Okay, weird. Good. Okay.
So primarily, we want to thank you for inviting us to be part of this event tonight. Thank Patty for having us several years ago as well. We're talking about teamwork here, and we're talking about Ohana, and we can't do what we're all doing without our police force, without our firefighters, without our volunteers, and without our community members. And to have you include us in this amazing participatory meeting is very dear to me, and I know to Frank as well. We formed this foundation 24 years ago due to a very tragic event with our son, and the police and the firefighters came to our assistance at that time. And over those past 24 years, we've had a fundraiser to help provide them with the equipment, the fire department with the equipment they needed and the training that they needed, because they did not have the ropes they needed to rescue our son. And they didn't have the training to use the ropes to rescue our son. And so we made it a point to try to make a difference because our son wasn't the only one who was going to need their help. And fortunately for us, we have amazing guiding team that works with us, our governing board, which includes Battalion Chief Bill Bergin and Chief Todd helps to provide us with the guidance that we need to go forward. in being involved with this community. Bill is very modest in not telling you that he designed these trucks that we have on this island, and we just purchased our fourth one, thanks to some amazing support from an anonymous benefactor, whom I love dearly with all my heart. These trucks have, as Ka'udani Akaka said, a life of their own, a spirit of their own. They're intended to be of support to the community and to save lives and to save homes, which they did time and time again since we were able to obtain them. But if it hadn't been for Bill, we probably wouldn't have these trucks, because when our donor asked what could be done to support the fire department after the fire department saved his home, Bill was the one that stepped up and said, this is what we need. And so, yeah, it's been very exciting. And yes, we are going to get our new helicopter. We just found out a few weeks ago that we will be getting the funding for that, thanks to a number of benefactors who are going to support the lease of that new helicopter. So we're thrilled to be a part of this amazing community, and I say that as an island as a whole, but Waimea kind of stands out, I think, with what you do for not just your first responders, but for your entire community. I'm so impressed with you. I'm so impressed with you. And you know, our goal as a foundation is to help those who help all of us. That's our motto. And we have also been very involved with COVID testing at the airports and throughout the community this year, as well as providing vaccinations. So very few people know about that with our foundation, but we've been incredibly involved with that effort as well. And pardon me?
KTA?
No. So we want to thank you for involving us. We intend to continue to be involved. We have a special relationship with Pōhakuloa. We help to honor members of the Pōhakuloa Fire Station and Chief Muller when they help to save a hiker up on Mauna Kea, and through unbelievable conditions, somebody who had broken his leg. And if it hadn't been for the team effort, that person probably would not have lived. And so this teamwork that is, that just seems to come together with the Pōhakuloa station and with the fire department, with the police department, with the community, is something to be so proud of. Very few places have that anymore in our country. And we work together. We do have Aloha here. We do care about each other. We are community. We are Ohana. And Frank and I are so proud, and he can speak for himself, obviously, but we're so proud to be part of this community. We're so proud to be a conduit to help get the training and the equipment that our first responders need. And to be such a wonderful part of the community that you guys represent. Thank you for inviting us. And we've got a lot of big things still ahead of us. As the fire captain said, and the battalion chief said, and Chief Muller said, we stand the volunteers. There's a lot of work we still have to do. There's equipment that we still need to get. There's training that we still need to get. And it's going to take all of our community, our entire island, to provide that for them. And we are working with the Waikoloa station right now to get them the new truck. And we have helped Mike in the past. We helped do a fundraiser at Waikoloa to help get funding for their new building. So he didn't have to have the truck sitting in his yard anymore. So, and to get other equipment for them that we needed. So we're very proud to be the foundation that's helping all of you, the community and our first responders. So, thank you all. And thank you to the police department for everything that you do for all of us on a daily basis. I mean, I don't know how we could ever say thank you enough to you all for being there, you know, for helping us and making our island safer. We're so proud of you, really, truly, as well as our fire department and our community leaders. So thanks to all of you guys that make a difference.
Hey, Laura, one thing you forgot to add is we're working on getting a new fire engine for South Kohala Fire Station.
Oh yeah, we are.
Air
A new
Foundation.
what?
Brand new fire engine for South Kohala Fire Station.
Oh,
That's going through the SARE Foundation too. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Very good. Well, we can't thank you folks enough. Words can't express it. Thank you so much for the difference you've made for these guys.
It's our honor.
Well, thank you all. We've definitely gone over here tonight.
Quick, thank you. Could I say thanks real quick?
Yes, go ahead, Ipo.
Yeah, from Waimea Fire Station, thanks Frank and Laura. I mean, we don't often, especially with COVID, you know, we can't really get to see you guys or haven't had much opportunities to extend our thanks to you guys, but now we do. So on behalf of Waimea Fire Station, we love our tanker truck.
I do too.
You and along with Bill, you guys really made a huge contribution to your nonprofit, and we can't thank you guys enough. Thanks again.
Thanks so
Yeah,
much.
and thank you all you guys that are out there putting it on the line every day, the police, the fire, all of you guys. It's just you guys don't get enough recognition. I really feel that way. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Nancy, anything else you'd like to share here?
Yeah,
before we close?
I just wanted to wrap it up by saying that how lucky we are to live on Hawaiʻi Island and in Waimea, surrounded by all of you wonderful people whose goal it is to keep us safe and protected. I feel fortunate to work with these folks in putting the meeting together. I love all of you and mahalo you guys from the bottom of my heart. And on behalf of the Waimea Community Association Board of Directors, members, and community in general, mahalo. And I hope you folks all have a happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving. James, go ahead and wrap it up.
Sounds good. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nancy, for your leadership in pulling off this meeting and connecting with all of our first responders around the district. It was a big effort to express the gratitude of the community and on behalf of WCA to them and sharing all those gifts and wonderful treats. And
Sorry about the glitches tonight.
it's all good. It all happens. So not to worry about that. So as we close tonight's meeting, I would like to express, first of all, mahalo to our elected officials, Representative Tarnas, Councilor Kimball, Councilor Richards, for joining us, expressing that extended aloha from the community. And of course, mahalo to the Sayers for joining us here and being a part of this effort and growing outreach to the community and supporting our wonderful facilities and departments that make us a community here. And of course, mahalo to Lani and the Christmas Parade Committee. We're excited for the opportunity to celebrate and welcome in the holiday season as a community together. Lastly, mahalo to Nancy, our WCA board, for your support as we express gratitude of the community for our first responders. And of course, a big mahalo nui loa to all of our community first responders and to the departments and organizations and your leaders that joined us here tonight for taking the time to update and share with the community. Thank you for your service and your dedication to our island communities. Your tireless work provides us a wonderful place to live. And thank you to all of our viewers for joining us on the live stream this evening. You're welcome to revisit, rewatch this recording up on our Facebook page and up on the YouTube channel. Our next scheduled meeting is Thursday, January 6th in the new year. So our goal of that evening is to host our elected officials and really learn about their plans and their goals for the 2022 legislative session there. And on behalf of the Waimea Community Association Board, I wish everyone good health, safe holiday season to you and yours. Be well. Aloha.
Aloha. Good night, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Good night, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Good night. Thank you, Bill.